XRP, we start with daily chart. Just I want to give a quick update. And if you refer to our analysis, we have been looking for the reversal since we have been looking for this correction. And this is what we get. And even if you refer to my last analysis, I mentioned I'm looking at this correction. That's why I mentioned if you get any opportunity for buy, we'll take it. Anyway, first things, if you look at the chart as for trade as a long term, we have to see the breakout of 1.42. And based on daily chart, we're looking for 1.65 following by 2.1 at least. Then with the breakout of this 2.1, we can look for 2.45 following by 3.1. Mostly I'm looking for this target. And as we know, the issue with the XRP and SEC, if that one is settled, mostly we will see the breakout of the 3.1. But there's two levels I'm looking based on the weekly, and this is what I'm looking based on the daily chart. All right. But first we have to see the breakout of the 1.42. All right. And as a short term, as I mentioned, I'm looking at this one as a daily correction. Any opportunity for buy based on lower time frame, we'll take it. And based on forward chart, I'm looking for 1.02 following by 1.15. Mostly we have to see the breakout of this one first. Then from there, we have to see the breakout of 1.42. Because if the price couldn't break at least 1.02, we can expect this one to be in relative to this, and this one can tend to be a correction. Okay, and at this point I'm looking at this correction. We want to see whether we can look for any opportunity for buy. But first things is how deep this correction can be. With the breakout of the 73, we can expect the price drop to 68 before we see the reversal. That means if you want to look at this one as a correction relative to this, we have to see the reversal without the breakout of the 68 cent. That means we have to see the breakout reversal without the breakout of this one. Okay. And now how are we going to look at, because beside that, we mentioned any opportunity for buy from this correction, the targets we can look for is 1.02 following by 1.15, as I explained based on daily chart. The only question is, how are we going to look at this chart? If you want to put this one as an internal flat, the question is, if I remove everything, the price couldn't break or tag the previous low. That means at this point, we cannot confirm this is the only correction. All right. That means we can expect to be this one in this way. For one move up, if the price couldn't take the previous low, then this one could tend to internal correction for the next drop before we see the next move. All right. That's why at this point, I will put my line indicative at the, it's similar to what I put here. But we cannot conform with this. The only reason is the price couldn't tag 74 cents, which is the previous low. That means either we get one move up, then this one tend to flat. In that case, mostly we can expect the drop before we see the reverse continuation. That means this one can tend to a more complex correction, or we can expect this one tend to flat relative to this for the next drop before we see the next move. That means if we want to look for buy as a long term, I mean, when I say long term, I want to see the break by considering to see the breakout of this correction. The best things is if the price tag the previous low somewhere around 470, 473 cents. All right. Now, whether we should look for buy or sell, I don't see any trade setup. And simply because of this, we can expect to see the next drop. That means we can look for one more drop. That means we can look for the short-term set. It depends on the strategy the traders they use. Right. This is what I mean by what I was explaining based on forward chart. All right. Now, whether we should look for buy or sell, any drop following by flag, we can look for short-term sell within this range. In that case, we have to look for trade. The best thing is we look for trade based on lower time frame, like 15 minutes. For me, I'm not really interested to look for this sell. Either I wait for the next drop with the breakout of the previous low, then from there I will look for buy, or if this one turns to a deeper correction, we see any opportunity for buy with the breakout of the previous top as a short term, this is what we can look for. Then from there, we want to see whether the price can break the previous top and continuation or not. All right. But as I mentioned, for me, the best option I can look for, I want to see whether we can get the next drop with the breakout of the previous low before I look for the reversal. That means at this point, I'm not looking for any trade because I don't see any good trade. That's why I mentioned any opportunity for buy or sell within this range is a short term. We have to look for the trade based on lower time frame. For me, I prefer the price at least drop to 73, 74. then I be conformed with this correction, then any reversal from there I will take it. Or if I see any breakout of this correction, the flat as a short move flag, also we can take the trade. Even that one is a short-term trade for me, which I'm not really interested, because in that case, with the breakout of the previous top, we want to see whether we can look for continuation or not, because we can expect this one turn to a flat. Then, to make it very simple, any trade for buy or sell within this zone is a short-term trade unless we see the price break or tag 74 or 77 cent. Then from there, we look for the next trade setup. In this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.